Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar. Are you well prepared for negotiations? Actually, sales negotiations. Are you well prepared for sales negotiations? My name is Ravi, and I head Mercuri International India Operations, Mercuri Goldmann India. 58 years globally and 28 in India, working with organizations focusing on improving their sales performance. This particular webinar is part of a philosophy to share some of our knowledge with people who want to learn, want to do, want to implement, and sit in the marketplace. We have done quite a few webinars in the past, and this is going to be something like about 30 to 35 minutes or so. And I would like to make it very interactive. So I might ask you some questions, and I want you to reply in the chat box. And when you reply in the chat box, I'd be happy if you can reply to everyone so that it becomes truly interactive. I would also urge you to mute your microphones so that we can get the best out of the webinar. I hope you can all hear me clearly, so maybe a couple of you can just send a chat, yes, no, that'll help me to just move forward. Can you all hear me nicely, clearly? Can you all see the screen also? Absolutely? Yeah, some quick answers on the chat, please. Yep. Oh, thanks, Kumar. That yes, okay, good. Anybody else? Everybody's clear? Okay. Yes, I can. Thanks, Krishna. Fine. Okay, I've been in sales for a long time. I spent about first 12 years in sales and the last 28 years in selling, training, consulting, and building this organization. So I got about 39 plus years of sales work, making a lot of mistakes, at least one mistake every day. So it's a wonderful way to see how we can share some of the powerful ideas and concepts of Mercuri for people like you who are keen to learn. All right, let me ask you some questions. Why do some salespeople negotiate better? I'm sure some of you who are part of this webinar, I've been able to do a bit of a good negotiation. Why do some salespeople negotiate better? Question 2. Why do some Hello, can you hear me now? Yes. All right, okay, thank you very much. Why do some salespeople look forward to the negotiation? Oh, I got negotiation tomorrow. And some people, I think a few more people can't hear his face. Devinder Singh, can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me? Yes, I can, Shiv Kumar. Devinder, can you check your microphone, check your mic, check your speaker? Krishna, thank you. Okay, let's move forward. Why do some salespeople look forward? Oh, I got negotiation tomorrow morning. There's a bit of a slight happiness. It's good. That means I'm going to convert, I'm going to close this order, I'm going to get some business. Some people, oh God, I've got to meet this guy tomorrow. I know what's going to happen. He's a terrible guy, whatever. Last question. Why do some salespeople seem to get along nicely with the customer during negotiation? They still get the order, they get everything, but negotiation seems to happen smoothly, flawlessly, nicely, as two people having a nice conversation, and things seem to happen. So why do these things happen? You may have had some of these yourself, or you may have observed these things with some people you worked with as well. Could I request you to just take a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, send me your text messages, why do these things actually happen? So, text messages please. Why do these things happen? You can answer one of the questions or a common answer to the 3 questions. It doesn't matter really. It's good. Just give me some answers, think through and give me some answer. Let's make it interactive a little bit. Even on the webinar, we can. And please respond to everyone so that people can really become very engaged. Yep. Why do these things happen? Dinesh Upadhyaya, first question, well prepared. Oh, like that. First question, well prepared. Well prepared. Negotiator. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you. You're right, Dinesh Upadhyaya. Yes, well prepared. Yes, very true. Okay, some more please. Look at the text box and say it. Couple of more I want. Not just Dinesh, but got a lovely answer. One more, another 10 seconds, please. Yep. Some more? No? Right? Okay? Okay, let's move forward. Now, second question. Lovely Dinesh again. Wow. Play for meeting people and self-belief. Oh, that's a lovely word. I got a bit of a confidence. I like to meet people. It's not that, oh, I got to meet people. Very lovely, very lovely. Anyone else, please? You can write to me as well, no problem. Even if it's not everyone, you can send a message to me, Ravi Sundar. Absolutely. I want just one or two more answers quickly. That's all. Nothing else. Yep. One more, please. One more. Maybe Bansal. Hold it. Yep. Yep. One more answer. All right. Okay. Fine. If actually fulfilling their need. Very true. Very true. That means there's a good match between the two. That's a lovely statement you made, Christian, and I'm going to use it in a few moments from now. Okay. So, I think some people obviously do a better job. And all of us want to do a better job in negotiation. Am I going to give you a magic plan on negotiation? I wish I had one. I don't have it. But I'm going to give you some dimensions of that nicely to see how it works out. Okay. So, that's a little bit of like a sales negotiation. I want to pull from my side. I want to pull from your side. That's a bit of a sales negotiation. All right. I'm going to spend this whole webinar on the most boring part. The most boring part of negotiation. Look at this lovely. I think it's the most boring part. Can you guess what this is? Can you guess what this is? Now you can see the lovely building coming up. I think, does anybody walk around? You see some construction going on. You walk around. I don't know if any of you look at the foundation being created. And I think we don't have a conversation. Wow, what a lovely foundation. Wow, look at so many things happening on the foundation. Oh God, I really love this foundation. Nobody's saying that. It's hidden behind. It's the most boring phase. But what we admire all the time is the superstructure on top of it, the lovely house, the mansion, the flat, the apartment, whatever. So the most boring part is the foundation of negotiation. So I'm going to focus in this webinar just on one area. Are we well prepared for sales negotiation? Preparation. But before that, let's take a few seconds. What is negotiation? I'm sure there are many answers possible. Negotiation. Could you just send in one or two text messages on what exactly is negotiation? And we've got a little funny definition, a very interesting definition, a very interesting explanation. What is negotiation? 5 seconds, 10 seconds, chat box please. What's negotiation? Some quick chat box answers. Come on. Give some, take some, reach the agreement. Wow, lovely. Discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. Wow, that's fantastic. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful, beautiful statement. Okay. I mean, they mean the same very nicely. We're going to use the same, but I'm going to give a slightly twist to the whole process. It's a process, first of all. Something that happens. An exercise to make it win-win, Trisha. Thank you. A process that takes place. It could be for win-win if it happens. But sometimes the win-win doesn't happen. Sometimes it's a lose-lose. I don't get the order. The customer also does not get the chance of working with me or using my machine. Or I get the order, I come back and feel, oh my God, I really haven't made a profit on this. So a bit of a win-lose-win. It could be the other way as well. So those are outcomes which are very important, extremely important. But before that is a process that takes place. When does this process take place? A very interesting way of looking at negotiation is when a buyers need to buy. One of you used the word just a few seconds ago about the need fulfillment. A lovely statement. Your buyers need to buy equals, you can fill in your mind, your sellers need to sell. I have a product. I have a solution. I have a service. I want to sell, and I think it can meet many of your requirements. Let's say, for example, your buyer says, I'm ready to buy, I'm willing to buy, it meets my needs, but subject to certain terms, condition, price, etc. I'm ready to sell, I want to sell it to you, it is useful to you, I would like you to buy, subject to some terms and conditions on which I should be able to sell. You ask me for free, I can't. You ask me 25% discount, I can't, because I can't afford it. Maybe in my mind. All this happens in the mind. So a buyers need to buy equals a sellers need to sell. Building that wonderful balance is a very important part of a pre-negotiation process. Is actually the sales process. A lovely sales process creates a situation where your buyers need to buy equals the sellers need to sell, subject to A, B, C, D, and that A, B, C, D is what forms of negotiation. And the process that takes place at this point of time is negotiation. Okay. Then a quick text message time now. How is negotiating different from bargaining? Maybe they're the same, I don't know. How is it different? Could you just take a few seconds and send me the text, please? How is negotiating? I want you to do a bit of a thinking. Let's have a good conversation. And after 30, 40 minutes time, you're going to be learning something. How is negotiating different from bargaining? Is it different? If it is so, how? Few minutes, few seconds on the text box. Yeah, some answers. How is negotiating different from bargaining? No one? Tough question? All right, let's look at it. Oh, you got it. Thank you, Shiv Kumar. Bargaining is only on price point, but negotiation overall recovery. I love it. That's beautiful. Absolutely, that's what Morgan says. Davinder says bargain is price specific. Yes, bargain, a nice simple English is handling actually. But bargain is a little bit more sophisticated, that's all. But if yes, are you going to give me this price or not? Negotiation makes both the parties feel win-win, whereas bargaining might not be. Chakravarti, absolutely. So, bargaining is very price specific. Bargaining is not price point, overall requirement, etc. So, there is a subtle, nice difference between the two. To understand that a little bit more in detail, let's look at what are the phases of negotiation. That means every process has certain phases. Stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4. Like that negotiating has got 4 phases. P, D, P, B. The first P is preparing. It happens before, but sometimes preparing also happens in the start of the negotiation when you are preparing the customer. I always say in some of the top seminars I run, if you want to sell a price increase to a customer, we did some great work in that area, we actually should prepare the customer well in advance. For example, if you're going to sell a price increase, you're going to offer a price increase, you want to sell a price increase to a customer from, let's say, 1st of July, you should start thinking about it from 1st of April. Those 3 months, you sort of prepare the customer. You prepare the customer by doing some great service, solve the pending issues, make him feel comfortable, build a little contact, build established relationships better, educate the customer more, give him something he has been asking for in terms of knowledge or service or some technical aspects very nicely. You make the customer start of feeling, I think this company is really good. They're taking care of my needs nicely. And then when you come with a price increase, well, it is still a shock, but that is a shock absorber. But we sometimes see price increase as an event. Price increase is not an event. Price increase is a bit of a journey. And we build the journey with it. So a bit of a preparing the customer as well. So preparing. Discussing. Customer would like to come very quickly to price. Naturally, I would do the same if I were a customer. Why not? You'll do the same. Discussing. The word discussing sounds simple. There's so many elements of discussing. And looking at options, proposing alternatives, assuming that you want to negotiate. If you have fixed price, fixed terms, fixed contract, no negotiation, there's no negotiation. But there are options. You've got something built in. You have variables allowable to you. Proposing alternatives. The word is proposing, not concluding. Tossing them up. Proposing alternatives. Therefore, the whole thing is a lot about conversation very nicely. And of course, finally, bargaining. Preparing, discussing, proposing, bargaining. Preparing is largely prior to negotiating, but also in the meeting. Discussing is exploring, exchanging position and interest. Position is what you state. Interest is why you state what you state. For anything the customer says, there's a reason behind it, and that becomes the interest. And same thing with us as well. Understanding that position and interest requires a lot of skill. Keep the conversation alive. I mean, think about it. Yesterday, today, a big negotiation is taking place in Seoul in South Korea. India wants to be part of the NPT, part of the NSG, the nuclear club. But 47 countries have agreed. One does not agree. I'm very unhappy about it. We won't talk about it now. But there's a lot of discussing going on, exploring, looking at options, proposing alternatives without specific commitment. It's important to show the cards, not necessarily leave the cards. Showing the card is different from leaving the card with the customer. Testing the depth of water, testing the response of the customer, testing the customer's facial reaction, observing for a certain offer. I'm sure you must have done it. You must have experienced it. When you want to go for shopping and buy something, some smart sales guys in the shops do a damn good job. And they do all these things very nicely. They know how close are you to buy. Even the industrial buyers are human beings. Somebody told me many years ago, even machine buyers or computers know. They are only machines. No, they are actually human beings. As long as human beings continue to buy. And we use that a little bit without specific commitment. And finally, bargaining to reach an agreement. Preparing, discussing, proposing, bargaining. Of course, the customer wants us to come to bargaining rather quickly. It's good for him. Tell me now, I don't have time. I understand, sir. Definitely. You are a busy man. And keep the conversation alive. So preparing, discussing, proposing, bargaining, the 4 phases of negotiating. So negotiating is a lot more than bargaining, though the customer on the other side may bring bargaining up front very, very early. That's the skill of the salesperson. And I always keep saying, salesman, customer, 2 guys. One guy has to be smarter than the other. Unfortunately, it has to be me, the salesperson. I'm harder to be so, of course, but I got to try that. Otherwise, he's going to be smarter than me all the time. And he's smarter than me, I lose all the time. So, preparing, discussing, proposing, bargaining. Now, the most boring part is again the preparing part. the preparing. Oh God, can I make the preparing a little bit more interesting? I can make it amazingly interesting, but I can make it a little more interesting, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. You start enjoying it. Let's make the most boring part a bit more interesting by just giving you a few tips. That's all, nothing more than that. And therefore, if you look at the whole process of preparation for negotiation, has two broad elements. One is a process, and the other one is a behavior. Of course, the third element that takes place inside the negotiating call is the skills of doing it. I'm starting with the process of getting ready and the behavior of getting ready. Lovely. Tomorrow, World Cup finals. Let's say, for example, Virat Kohli's team has to get ready. Fortunately, you have a good coach now, maybe Kumble. And you're going to get ready. That's a process. On the other hand, you also have to get ready in terms of behavior. You're going to make it. It's going to be Australia. It's going to be England. It's going to be South Africa, whatever is the country, or Pakistan, whatever. We are going to beat them. We have the capability. Let's work as a team, whatever. So there's a behavior which is preparation before, and a process which is a preparation before. On the field, in addition to process and behavior, you have the skills of batting, you have the skills of fielding, and you have the skills of bowling, and the skills of wicket keeping all the time. They got to exist, of course. So process and behavior is very critical before the preparing stage. Spend a few minutes on the process side. So what should we prepare? Can I request you to just send me a few text messages of what should be prepared before negotiation? Just a few points. I'm going to take a few seconds break now. I'm going to sit and enjoy your text messages. Come on. What should we prepare? I'm going to give a framework. I'm going to give a structure. I'm going to give some ideas. That's it. What should we prepare for negotiations? Know well about the people of the negotiation, Shiv Kumar. Oh, yes. Lovely. Good. I'm going to give you just a little extended framework by asking for questions very quickly. Thanks, Shiv Kumar. Lovely. Well, Sabha, Devinda, Chakravarti, who are? A lot of people are there. Yes, Himanshu, Krishan, Mohan, Mohit Bansa, whatever. Know your competition. Yes, absolutely. Know your competition. Very true. Know your competition. Very true.
Mohan Kumar is saying, understand the customer expectation and competitor pricing details of preparation.
Competitor pricing, yeah, of course, and customer expectation. Customer is not one guy. Many people are there. Expectation. Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay. I got some lovely answers from all of you. Super. Just put it a bit of a structure. There are three elements on which I need to prepare. Three elements. Only three. First one is, obviously, the three elements I must not only know, I must do a bit of analysis. One is analysis of own offer. Analysis of own offer. And analysis of competitor. It came out nicely. You use the word no competition, which is beautiful. I want to extend a little bit more, say, analyze competition. That's all. Slight extension, no more. And customer, which came out nicely. Know people well about the negotiation. Own offer, competitor, and customer. Let's look at it in a little bit more detail, little bit more. Let's look at number one is own offer. Many things to prepare, but I'm not going to focus so much. I want to keep it light and enjoyable as well. Only two things. Number one, what are my priorities? Remember, negotiation is a matter of exchanging, agreeing, disagreeing, giving, not giving many things. Let's call them components. There are many components. For example, price is a component. Payment terms is a component. Delivery is a component. Customer training, depends on the product, is a component. Advance is a component. Based on the business you do, bank guarantee is a component. Warranty is a component. There are many components. Sometimes, depending upon the business you are in, the material of construction for the equipment is a component. So the components. Some components are fixed. Some components are variable. Don't worry about fixed components too much because you can't change. What you can't change, you can't negotiate. What you can change, you can negotiate. When I say change, there's a flexibility to change, or there's a possibility to change. So look at only those variable components and decide what is important for you at this point of time, for your company. So put those components in order of priority. For example, sometimes when your capacity utilization is slightly better, your price will become more important, and the company has got a good financial strength, payment terms will become slightly less important. I don't know. It depends. So put your priorities, and for each of those components, after you prioritize them in your mind in a piece of paper, write down what is the offer and what's the maximum minimum. Do a little bit of a range. The range gives you an elbow room. And I found it so powerful doing it on a piece of paper, sitting down the priorities. And once you know the priorities, if you know the customer to an extent, which you see the next slide, you can look at customer priorities. And if you can see some match between the two and the range, you're better prepared with many cards on the table, without getting ruffled, without getting flustered. So priorities. Take time to see the priorities. Priorities don't remain the same. Priorities depend on the context as well. So put your priorities next. Second thing we must prepare about our offer is a very simple word. You can see the red going backward nicely, walk away. What is my walk away position? Because this is the psychology here. When I sit with the customer, if the other guy is a tough customer, he's pushing me down, I want to walk away, my heart says, my brain says something else, and the mind says, the brain says that this is too low, you can't do that. But my heart says, no, it's a small difference. I think the volume will be higher, I don't know. And many times, the heart wins over the brain. But if you write the walk away before, I recommend writing it in a piece of paper, thus far and no further walk away. The walk away gives you strength very strongly. He's not walking away in a huff. He's walking away thoughtfully. He's walking away not emotionally. That walk away is very important. Some great work we have done with some companies, some of the people I've trained many years ago. The walk away has actually improved your average negotiating terms by a few percentage points because you had a walk away before. Not having a walk away, we become weaker. No walk away, we become weaker. So priorities and walk away, just a piece of paper, sitting down, reflecting a little bit, can make a big difference. So this is offered from our context. Now, we look at the competition. What do I do? Who are they? Find us some questions. Who are they? And what is their current situation? When it's a current situation, how are those companies doing well? Do they need more money? Or they run out of cash flow? Have they just had a recent IPO which needs a lot of money? That means they might give a longer payment terms. How is the capacity utilization? Have they had complaints in the market? Have they had certain segment where they're strong and weak? Or are they losing out somewhere? Get more about competition situation. And look at some of the past, how has been their behavior in the last 3 tenders, 3 RFPs, 3 quotations, 3 proposals. Collect some information, may not be from only your territory, look at some of your colleagues, what has been their past behavior. And, as somebody said nicely, how is our offer likely to compare? If you can get it exactly like is good, otherwise you can find out the word likely. So only 4 questions to ask. I'm giving a framework for this because a framework makes you prepare well. Who are they? What's the current situation? What has been their past behavior? how is our offer likely to compare with yours? Take these 4 questions, take a few moments of time, and try to find out the answers nicely. So, offer, competition, and customer. And when you look at customer, here's a lovely question mark. And there are only 4 things to know, many 4 are good enough. 1, takes decision. So, we'll replace the question mark with the word who. Who takes decisions? Simple word, but we need to find out a little more. Who influences decision? Influence. Doesn't take, but can have an impact. 3, lovely question, keep in mind, who can stop the decisions? This guy cannot make a decision, but he can be a block, a bottleneck. And who can postpone the decisions? Who can do something to delay the decision? Somebody can make an innocuous remark, some simple statement, and the decision gets postponed. Or puts a spoke in the wheel. Stop the decision, he takes away the key. Postpone the decision, spoke in the wheel. Influence the decision, pusher. Takes the decision, the driver. So, 4 questions. So when you used a lovely word a few minutes ago, our people, I want you to reflect on these 4 questions. Put those names. Do you know them well? What do they think of you? What's their attitude towards you? Is there something you need to do before the negotiation which will help you to handle these 4 people well? So somebody get involved. Just a little bit of a conscious way of looking at this. So analysis your own offering, competitor, and of course the customer. That's a lovely part of process. Only 3 things. Going back to the slides once again. Just look at this. Offer, only 2 things. Walk away and priorities. Look at the offer, the priorities of the components, and write the walk away. That's far more further. Simple. Who are they? What is the current situation? What's been their past behavior? How is it offer? Ask these questions and be prepared for the answers courageously. And if you don't know, we can always locate the answers from somewhere as much as we can. Who takes decisions? Who influences decisions? Who can stop the decision? Who can postpone the decision? And how well I know them? Do I have a relationship? What can help them or what can help me to engage with them better? 1 or 3 things, just a little bit more in terms of process. I'm going for negotiation tomorrow, the day after, next week, booked already. Now, build a sense of awareness. During the negotiating meeting, it's almost like the starting of a test match. That morning, I don't think of anything else. I soak myself in the test match environment. Great players do that. Tendulkar does it. Dravid does it. Virat Kohli does it. MS Dhoni does it. Sense of awareness. That morning, when you're walking for negotiation, at 10 o'clock is a meeting. 7 o'clock onwards, your mind is in a conscious state of awareness. When you're in a conscious state of awareness, every movement of customer is noticeable. Everything the customer does or doesn't do is noticeable, observable. Living that moment all the time is sense of awareness. Awareness leads to effectiveness in anything in the world. If I'm aware, I'll get a little less angry. Otherwise, I lose temper. Look at the lovely word. You lose temper. What does it mean? We know only after we lost it. Otherwise, we won't lose it. Awareness. Have a positivism. Yes. Probably the last 2 negotiations didn't go. There's one more chance. It's a different pitch, a different batting order. But I'm going to hit a century today. I'm going to get a 50 perhaps. Sense of positivism. Positivism with the energy. An energetic negotiation as you showcase yourself, influence the customer. Difficult to say no to somebody who is very positive, enthusiastic, and energetic. When you're heavy, you can't fly. When you're light, you can fly. Build a sense of lightness. It's not a life and death. And the more light you are, the more spontaneous you will be. Consciousness and lightness are a very beautiful combination. Don't carry the past baggage. Don't think about what the customer is or was before. You analyzed it. Keep it at the back. When you require, you can take that. But otherwise, feel a sense of lightness. And as I said, be agile. Don't think of anything else. Live in the present. High energy. Walk briskly. Go to the customer's room in a very confident posture. Go to the customer in a way that signifies a lot of transmission of energy. Because the more energetic we are, it's difficult to say no. High energy and mental agility. The way we sit, the way we talk, the way we have papers in hand, the way we smile, the way we look at customer, the way we organize ourselves, demonstrates a high sense of trust and credibility in front of customer. Only 4 things. Awareness, right from the day, that whole day before is one-way negotiation, nothing else in your mind. Positivism, lightness, high energy, and mental agility. How do you build each one of these in us? Think about it. Depends on you, what you are today. We can build all these things in each one of us. May not be everything today, overnight, but if you can focus on this, our behavior to prepare for negotiation, get ready to the battle, will be much, much stronger. Preparation is not boring, it's not a chore, it's enjoyable. Because it's going to give me something dramatically better. 3 things to keep in mind. Have a checklist. Never go for negotiation without a well-drawn checklist. I will give you some nice tools for the checklist, the pointers for that. Anticipate what can happen. Be prepared for the worst in your mind. Then you're well organized. Anticipate. And finally, I'm going to have a nice day today. It's going to be a nice negotiation. I've learned quite a few in the past. And my product, I've done a good job of selling. Of course, the customer needs me. I need him, of course. And I'm going to have a good day. Look forward. Have a checklist, anticipate, and look forward. Have a little sprint in there. And if you do that, you can visualize the outcome. The outcome should be in your mind. Like Dr. Kalam says, imagine the vision. If you imagine the vision of a positive outcome, at the end of the day, I'm going to have this order. I'm going to have this term. I go back to the office and my boss is going to say, great job. Visualize the outcome. That makes the preparation a great job. You can see the Virat Kohli exercise. The guy works hard. He stays fit. He's absolutely outstanding in the way he does. Preparation is enjoyable. So I would enjoy preparation. Tendulkar enjoys preparation. Don't enjoy preparation. The great guys enjoy preparation. Preparation, a lovely chef enjoys preparation. Preparation is enjoyable if you follow these things very, very simple and effectively. That's preparation for negotiation. Any questions, comments, any thoughts you would like to share? Most welcome. We will send you this slideshow. We will also post it somewhere on a YouTube somewhere later, this whole thing. And in the meantime, you can be in touch with me when I send a mail to you for anything you want to learn, because if you learn and succeed, that will give us tremendous joy. Let me know if you have anything at the moment. Any questions, comments, anything, just go ahead. Any thoughts, comments, anything? Thanks, Krishna. Anything. Just feel free.
Moment Mansur is asking, if customer is only price centric, then what will be his resistance?
Good question, someone. If customer is only price sensitive, absolutely, and if you can't give the price at all, there are 3 options available. Number 1 is your qualification of a prospect may have to change, assuming there are other prospects available. So that's a strategic decision. Second is this customer going to be a long-term where you can increase the prices, do something better? In which case, is it an entry price for this customer to get a better order or entry? And that's again a strategic decision. You can make a choice. Third one is, when a customer is only price sensitive, ask yourself the question, He appears to be only price sensitive. Is he only price sensitive or is the posture he is doing it? I think that will make us look at what are the other things that might be of value to him. If the moment you ask that question, it might open up a small door. And I've been selling for many years. Most customers who are only price sensitive as it appears to be, if you start engaging in conversations with them, not getting flustered, not getting a judgment on them, saying, oh God, one more guy who wants one lead price, damn it, what do I do? If you remove that for a while, you can shift a few out of that. Part of the skills of a salesperson, part of the skills of a negotiator lies in moving a few people away from that only price to, of course, price, definitely. I think that is a skill which is important. I think to start with, is he really only price or he really appears to be only price, in which case I have a window to open. How to really understand if price offered by customer is the maximum he can offer. It's a good one. It's a good question from Dinesh. Actually, you never know the answer. But I have a thumb rule on that, Dinesh. And the thumb rule is the customer at any stage can always pay just a little bit more than what he says he can pay. Almost. There is no bottoming out, really speaking. I'll give you a simple example for you to reflect. Let's say you're making a deal or negotiation for 5 lakhs, 500,000 of a product. I'm just giving an example. And the negotiation difference is, let's say, here's, you want 5 lakhs and you came down to 4 lakh 80. I'm just putting some numbers. He's at 4 lakh 70. And he said, I cannot pay a pie more than 4 lakh 70. God is not giving that price. It's his choice of 4 lakh 70. Now, I have a choice of giving away the 10, or I can patiently move that 4 lakh 70 to maybe 4 lakh 72. The 2,000 extra is close to 0.5% additional price realization for me on a 5 lakh deal. 2.5% better price gives your company 5% better profit. Go back and check it out. It's always true. 1% better price is roughly 10% better profit. The 2,000 is a small, it's like a steering wheel of a car. Just a 1 degree, less than a degree turn, you can make the whole vehicle turn. So thumb rule in your mind is, he can always pay a little more than what he says is the maximum he can pay. Try it, and if you still don't get, and if the price is okay for you, you agree, but not without making it happen in the best way. That's the best way to handle it. If our price is up for more or less same like a competitor, how can we get the order from a customer? Okay. Are they the same? You have to ask the question. If they are the same, identical, which may not be true all the case, the only way to get the order from a customer is, if everything is same, why not give a preference to me? Number one. Number two is that if everything is same when you buy, but what happens after you buy, can you as a salesperson make a difference? Can he pay that extra for the value-added relationship you can bring him? I'm talking about value-added relationship, which is giving him support to enhance his way of working, give him some knowledge. I'm not talking of giving money. I'm talking of ethically doing comes towards, if you try hard, you'll get a little extra. Anything else? Any other questions? You can always write to me as well. Okay? Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon and all the very best. Thanks. Thank you, Shagun. Thanks, Davinder. Yes, Morgan's question. Corporate offering the same product, exactly. I think you have to start differentiating on not just a product, but what is built around the product. And remember, we don't know what the customer's experience has been with the competition. They will all say it's good, but maybe may not be. Many times, as a thumb rule, my suggestion, gentlemen, is never believe competition is same as yours. The basic product may be the same, but there are variables around it. And one of the big differences is you, the way you engage with the customer. That belief can get you, may not be a big premium, but a small 0.5% or 1%, which is equal to 5% or 10% better profit. Thank you. All the very best.